Hi guys, it's me. I've got Hey guys, good morning. It's me again. Let's see what I'm cooking. So the first thing I can show out of battle, I've begun to give proper attributes rather than placeholder to the party members. You can see if you remember before, all the healths were 10, the MPs were 5, and all the other stats were 1. They were just hard values I've given. But now based on their classes, they have different attributes at level 1 and they have different growths as they level up. So if I go to equipment, you can see strength, defense, magic, they've all got more interesting values. You can see the warrior has some bias to strength and defense. If I compare that to say the cleric, which is like a priest caster type, he exceeds more in magic and resistance, and as they level up that would reflect that. I do have handling for leveling up, though there's no real way to gain experience yet. One of the next things I want to do is get the post-battle screen in that rewards gold and experience. As I press the up key, ding, you can see if you have a keen eye, all the levels have increased to 2 and their stats have increased slightly. If I go back to the warrior, not all stats have increased. I think strength went up by 1 there, but defense didn't actually raise. But as I keep hitting up, you'll see their strength didn't raise, but defense rose. In the early levels, you may not get an attribute increase per level up. It depends on the strength of the curve. But as you level up, there's a slight incline of how many stats you get. So if I just hit up, of course, all this stuff's kind of temporary. I don't have a real level or progression dungeon to see if the stats are balanced out yet, but you kind of get a feel where I'm going for. You can see level 15, as I'm leveling up now, I'm getting practically 1 stat across the board guaranteed, sometimes even 2. See, defense just went up 2 there. These curves they're similar to how Final Fantasy stats kind of work. I use that as a metric, although typically in Final Fantasy games, the amount of maximum health you have raises much higher and much faster than the rest of the stats, and that heads towards the typical 9,999 cap. My characters, as they level, they don't get as much. The amount of health you have is kind of similar still to the standard attributes. It's about 10-to-1 ratio, and that's because itemization will give a lot more health. The skill progression trees, the class trees, and the way the affixes roll on equipment means that you'll have a lot more access to bonuses to health. Yeah, as I level up too, you don't actually gain any health back, so you can see the percentage of the health is way low. But yeah, all that stuff works. Another subtle thing I had to do was, if you don't have a weapon equipped now, you have a weapon damage of 3, and that represents your fists. But if I equipped a weapon, that bonus is gone. Steel 12, I hover to remove that, I'll go back to 3. Very good. Great. The other thing I'll be showing in battle. Still doing a lot of work on battle. I want to get at least working before I try and make a level. So what I'm going to do is, if I kill this guy, which I will kill in 1 hit with a 90 damage flame, because my guys are leveled up and the magic stat actually influences the damage I do. So I wonder how much attack does. He should only have fist, but he has a bit of strength, 27. Of course, for every command we're still doing the sword slash, even though he's... But yeah, the thing I want to show off that I've spent quite a bit of time on is that death animation. I'll get into another fight, you'll have to be quick. I had it much slower when I was testing. Ooh, that definitely isn't intended. Look at that. My second battle doesn't work. Let me restart. I'll have to investigate that one when I do work next time, which will probably be the day after tomorrow. But yeah, so look carefully. I'm gonna kill this guy. No, I'm not, because he's got defense. Of course, I was warned by all the shield icons. But yeah, so what happens is there's the top right corner that's fading down, and they're kind of, that Thanos, I don't feel so good kind of action where they're fading away. And there's also some funkiness with the color, so as soon as they die, it's glowing red just a little bit for the start, and then the colors go kind of weird. I was just playing around with it a lot. I'll open up my shader here. So yeah, you can see it's very scrappy, and I've got a lot of lines commented out. I was just trying a lot of things, mess around with it for a few hours. Yeah, so I was playing with that. The first reference I was using is right here. I've got it paused. When they die, I can actually play this in very slow motion here. Yeah, because I've got it at the quarter speed, but if you're paying attention, see, ooh, it happens very quickly, but you can see that the difference there is, rather than being like a smooth fade like mine is, it's got this, the pixels are either opaque or they're see-through, and there's like an intense dithering that happens, so it actually looks looks like the enemy's kind of crumbling rather than just fading out completely. I had to go at that, but I couldn't wrap my head around it. The solutions I was getting, they looked very weird and teary, so I benched that for a bit, and I kind of combined this with some more of the more modern SNES Final Fantasies that fade out into a color, kind of. The last thing I'll show is just kind of what the curves look like that I've declared, and you can see it kind of looks like it's like a spreadsheet here. I actually had it spreadsheeted originally and considered finding a library or something that would read the cells of like a Google spreadsheet, and so I could just change the values in the spreadsheet and whenever the game runs. But you know, using some formatting genius right here, it looks alright. Ideally I want to use external files as least that I can, because I can keep everything nice and compact in the project. Of course, stuff like saving the game has to be done externally essentially. But yeah, you can see the warrior up here has the highest curve for health, decent strength, you know, good defense, and then low magic. Cool. I'm coming very close to being in a position where I can start ordering the mechanics, filling in more of the enemies, more of the spells, and then actually getting a little bit of a game going. I've got to do like a lot of twiddling around on some fiddly stuff like the fading out of an enemy dying. But we're getting there, boys. I'm going to pack it up here and I'll catch you guys in 2 days from now. Boy, I'm out. Thanks.